What's going on, people? It's Mr. Door back again. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, another episode, another podcast. And yes, as you know, if you've been hiding behind the rock or whatever, Nottingham Forest have announced the signing. It's been overdue. Sign of Manchester United goalkeeper on loan, Dean Henderson. What's everyone's opinion about it? Put in the comments below. Are you happy with Dean Henderson? Are you not? Get your questions in. If you aren't new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and like I said, any questions to my special guest and the usual suspect on my channel, ask away. Right, let's get the guests on. And first, I'm going to start with the man himself, Dave. How are you feeling today, Dave?
Yeah, good, Ben. Thank you. Just like I said to you, mate, just taking a break from the last episode of Stranger Things, and it was getting a bit scary, so I just need to calm down a bit.
I ain't got a clue this is not my kind of show, but I don't know. Dave, where Dave was talking to me, and then I might have stopped watching it. But yeah, everyone knows who Dave is. Everyone show some love to Dave, please, if you can. And I've got another special guest for me. We've got my new fan. I've been on the channel, Maisie. Debut on DoreOnTour. How are you and how are you feeling?
I'm happy to be on the channel. Thank you for having me on. I'm well, thank you. How are you? And it's good to meet Dave as well.
And you too, Maisie. Marvelous Miss Maisie.
Well, like I said, as I know, everyone knows Maisie's got a YouTube channel as well. And as everyone knows, I like to promote channels. So, Daisy, give a plug to your channel.
My YouTube channel's Devils United, Manchester United content, not just on the men's football, I also do it on the women's football as well.
Right, so like I said, everyone, make sure everyone subscribe to Maisie's channel, Devils United. Link is in the description. Everyone, please go and subscribe to the channel. And if you are new to my channel, people, all you're going to do is hit the like button if you can. Subscribe if you're new. My target for the end of the year is 10K. So if you are re-watching this, not live, go and hit the subscribe button and comment below, people, how you're feeling about our new signing for Dean Henderson. Before we do start, I know I'm going to ask Dave about Ethan Howarth. As you know, Ethan Howarth has gone on loan to Luton Town. Before we start, Dean Henderson, Dave, how are you feeling about Ethan Howarth as well? People in the comment as well. How are you feeling about Ethan Howarth? Do you think So, people, Dave, how are you feeling about Ethan Howarth?
I think it's a good thing for Ethan. Putting myself in Ethan's shoes, he wants to play for the United States in Qatar in the World Cup, and he needs regular game time. So if I'm adopting Ethan's mindset, I want as much football as I can possibly get between now and sort of mid-November, I think it is when it starts, to put himself in the, right in the eye line of the American coach. And I think also he's obviously looked at the situation in a rational sense and sees that he was always going to be the backup keeper, I guess, whether, had Brees stayed, well, Brees hasn't gone yet.
He hasn't gone yet. Dave.
No, stranger things have happened. Brees may end up staying yet, but Ethan's situation is that I think he deserves a good run of football somewhere. I thought he was after that very nervy beginning against Middlesbrough in that horror game last in September, where I think basically we were all affected with the awfulness of it. I thought Ethan bounced back really, really well after Brees was, on the sidelines for his indiscretion with Phil Jagielka. And I thought Ethan did tremendously well. So I have nothing but positive feelings about Ethan, and the fact that he isn't actually going to be leaving Forest. He's going to be still part of our Forest family.
He's got a full season there. He's got a full season.
Exactly, Ben. Yeah.
Because if he was at Forest, he'd be on the bench, and it's not helping him because he's got a World Cup season as well for USA in is it November?
Yeah,
to help him. So
sure.
Before we do, like I said, it's a good decision for him and play for World Cup, isn't it, Dave?
Absolutely, mate. Ethan has actually endeared himself to Forest fans, I think. I mean, if nothing else, Ethan Horvath took the greatest goal kick in the history of Nottingham Forest.
Yes, he did. He did.
After Dwayne Holmes shanked his cross out, in the 6th minute of injury time at Wembley, it was that moment when Ethan went to retrieve the ball, and he took his time in doing it.
Yes, he did. He went to one side.
He waved everybody up the field, Ben. And at that moment, even before we all loved Ethan's goal kick, because at that point we knew we were back in the Premier League. So Ethan, in his own way, has acquired cult status. But in the everyday of his career and Forest, that he needs to be playing now. Luton. If he goes to Luton, I don't know. They've still got Sluger or whoever they else they've got over there. But I would imagine Ethan will be close to starting for Luton, and Nathan Jones will have been impressed with what he did last season. I mean, the game that really sticks out for me, Preston after a nervy start in that awful 0-0, but the game against Liverpool, which is like, the eyes of the world are on Nottingham Forest against, one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the world. And Ethan, I thought Ethan had a terrific game. I remember him stopping Roberto Firmino when Firmino was 1-on-1 through on goal, and Firmino should have scored, but Ethan sort of psyched him out. So I think with Ethan, his mindset's good. I think his handling's good. The thing that he needs to improve, and you'll concur with me on this, Ben, I'm sure, like a lot of Forest fans will, is that Ethan's distribution with the ball at his feet does need to improve. And I think when we looked at our 2 goalkeepers last season, the determinant, the discriminant between the 2 of them was that Brees was so confident with ball at his feet and setting Forest attacks going, and Ethan just seemed to be a little bit more deliberate in what he was doing. So I think a full season, if hopefully Nathan Jones will use him, a full season with Luton Town will suit him personally and individually, and it will help Forest should we need to bring him back at any point.
100%. So people in the comments, what do you think? Even how do you think it's a good learning spell for him? Do you think Luton will gain a positive thing at Luton? Because like I said, he got the World Cup in November. People in the comments, what do you think? Right, before we get to the main subject, before I get Maisie in about our new signing, I'm just going through the comments. Before we get Tim says, great player, well done management team, you Reds. Keane says, Dino.
Brilliant.
That's one of them came in. This is from Matt SB, another YouTuber, you Reds. He's a Coventry fan. This is T-Boy TV. T-Boy, he's a Luton fan. So, yes, Dor, good signing. Cheers for Ethan. He's a good goalkeeper, T-Boy TV. So, please look after him. And that's that. This is from Adam. Good evening, all. Good evening, Adam. This is from Russ from America. Henderson's a great signing, upgrade, and Premier League experience. How you doing, Kara? Evening, Dave. I'm Pundit.
Flatterer.
How you doing, Nick?
Hi, Nick.
This is from Kel. Evening, Dor, Dave, and Maisie. Super happy with Henderson joining. Great signing. Another from Tim. Evening, Reds. How you doing? Nick. Hello, Mr. Dor. Hello, panel. Where's your Forest top door? Listen to me. I'm not going to tell you. Listen, as you know, I've got a sore throat. I met out with Amanda, support Deflator. So I had a great time. If you've not saw the pictures, make sure you look at Instagram because I had a fantastic time. So everyone who's there, we had a great time as well. And I've got a sore throat. I'm not hanging. Just what I told people, I'm not hanging. I've had a few, but I'm fine. As well, I've got a super chat somewhere. Where are you? I think where I've got a super chat somewhere. Thank you, Adam, for the £4.49. And Adam, if you next time, if you do a super chat, make sure you put a question because I do appreciate everyone that does a super chat. I do appreciate, but just put a super chat. Anything, it could be anything. Say hello, Dor, question, anything. So if anyone wants to ask a question towards me, Dave, and Maisie regarding Dean Henderson, if you do super chat, put a question. But thank you very much for the £4.49 as well. I'm gonna look at another one. So seeing Richie Leah might be going to learn on sub 2 for another right back. I don't know. I've not seen anything as well for that. This is for a good day today, lads. Very good day for us as well. What's this one? Joshua, you should get a proper Joshua. If you want to get me a proper mic, get me one. Because people, can you hear me? Can you, Dave? Can you hear me properly?
Perfectly, mate.
Right, people in the comments. Can you hear me? Put in the comment below. If you can hear me, put in the comments. Right, I'll get two more before we start to the main subject as well. This is James Good Luck for season from a Bradford fan. Thank you very much. From I hope so are the best of the learners as they need to do Everton. Yeah. I hope Nottingham Forest will stay in the Premier League. I hope so, Jamie. I hope we do stay in the
We all
Premier
do.
League. But yeah, right. Another one. I'm sorry. There's so much questions. Sorry, I've been talking. So hi, Pickle from Portugal, and I can hear you. Thank you. So everyone can hear me. If you can't, I do apologise. Right. Main subject. We're here, as you know, Dean Henderson has signed for Nottingham Forest on loan to the rest of the season. Maisie, big Man U fan, big YouTuber. I'm going to get her thoughts. But before we get Maisie, Dave, make it short and sweet. How you feeling about the Dean Henderson signing? And people in the comments, how are you feeling about Dean Henderson signing? Do you think it's a great signing? Do you think he's an upgrade to Samba? People get your comments in and I will read them out. Dave, quick question. How do you think about the signing of Dean Henderson?
Very happy, Ben. Very happy. I think he's an upgrade. I think he's. I don't think he's a massive upgrade, but he is an upgrade. For a start, he's got Premier League experience. I think he's got international ambitions and pretensions, and I just think that the year he had with Sheffield United, in particular, plus the learning that he's done around David De Gea, is going to stand us in good stead, mate. So yeah, I think it's an excellent signing.
Yeah, so people like to see the comments. What do you think about before I get Maisie in? Sorry, Maisie. I think I've been with Maisie for a long time, so I do apologize, Maisie. I want to get
Maisie.
There's so many questions I want to hear, and there is loads of questions that Maisie wants to ask as well. But Maisie, right, let's start, darling. Dean Henderson, he's signed for Nottingham Forest now. What's your thoughts about him joining Nottingham Forest?
I think it's a great move for Dean Henderson. I think Dean Henderson is a terrific goalkeeper. He's got the qualities where his distribution is brilliant, and he's still good in terms of his shot stopping as well. But when you've got the likes of David De Gea, who's on such good form, you can't really drop David De Gea, which is why he didn't really have that game time last season. He had a couple of appearances in Europe and in the cup games. I think he made 3 appearances altogether all season. So, and coming back to Manchester United from Sheffield, he made around 30 appearances at most. So that's not even a season's worth of games, and he's been there 2 seasons. And a goalkeeper who does need to improve, a goalkeeper who is so hungry to get into the World Cup, who wants to perform for the country because he has got into England before. I think Nottingham Forest is a great move. We've seen what he's like at Sheffield United. I think him was a big, massive part of getting Sheffield United into that top 10. And personally, for me, I think his qualities alone, the way he commands the back line, I think he's an absolute terrific signing, Premier League experience. So I think it's a great move for Nottingham. And I think I'm not saying him single-handedly, but his kind of qualities could be the difference between you staying up and you getting relegated.
100%. Like I said, my opinion, I think, like I said, I'll get David in a minute. I think it's a fantastic signing. We hear about, everyone knows the situation with Samba. Samba, good. Listen, if it wasn't for him, we won't be in the Premier League. Let's keep it real. No disrespect to Ivan Havov. He come in, he done his job for us in that certain spell. He got dropped for Blackpool. Samba come back. Samba did fantastic for us. But Henderson's a better upgrade version. I think he spat his dummy out when he wanted a better contract, and like I said, he deserved a better contract. But I'm not going to go into detail. Like when someone's saying, "Oh, he's a better," why were we getting a better goalkeeper? We're in the Premier League, and when we're in the Premier League, we need better players. And from now to the season's all transfer windows, we are going to get better players. And no disrespect to the squad that we've got now, we've got to upgrade. And we've had 4-5 players on loan. We can mention Spence, loan, Ziganel, Gardner, ex-Manchester United, Man United player, Davis as well. We're getting better players. And as you know, we brought in Awali. I forgot his name. Dave, what's his name, Dave?
Taiwo Iwanyi.
Taiwo Iwanyi. Big T.
I love that name.
I call him Big T. Big T. He's a great person. So me personally, I think it's a fantastic choice. But people in the comments, what do you think? I'm going to look through the comments now. Dave, let's say with him joining the Forest, what's your opinion on everything? Like, do you think, like, I know he's on loan, but he's going to benefit being in the Premier League playing a full season as well. It's going to help him when he goes back to Man U.
Well, I think the view I have of Ethan Horvath's situation, from Forest to Luton, I think in many regards the same applies to Dean, coming from United to Forest. I mean, obviously Dean he's going to be a Manchester United player. That's going to be their paradigm. I find it interesting that there's this option for Forest to buy at the end of the season, but United I don't think that's part of the deal. Now, the fact that United were keen not to give Forest the option to buy Dean Henderson if he does for us what he did for Sheffield United that first year when they came up and finished ninth, as Matey quite rightly says, that to me says that either Eric Ten Hag or the United hierarchy hold Dean Henderson in very, very high esteem. So that, the interesting thing for me from looking into Manchester United, and Maisie will know this better than me. She's the United expert. I'm not, but I'm looking in and thinking, David De Gea is clearly the number one in a by United standards, a poor season last year. David De Gea was a shining light, played superbly well. In fact, a lot of the time he had to, because what was in front of him wasn't doing its job properly. So, David De Gea he's become, part of the furniture at Manchester United. Now, if anything were to happen to David De Gea, Dean Henderson is still on the end of United can yank the chain and back comes Dean Henderson, depending on how, negotiations go with Forest. So I think that tells you when a club of the stature of Manchester United hold a guy in that regard, it tells you, about the qualities as Maisie talks and about his value as a player and as a person in the club. So, and looking at it from a Forest point of view, Ben, that to me tells you everything. I mean, I watched his first interview with the Forest TV, and he spoke really, really well. You can tell that he feels he's got not some catching up to do, but some time to make up for, because the way I look at it, right, without going on at length, which I have a tendency to do, Maisie, I'm sorry.
He does.
I can contrast and compare what Dean did with Sheffield United when they finished ninth, and what Aaron Ramsdale did with Sheffield United when they were relegated before the clocks went forward. Now, Aaron Ramsdale is now pressuring Jordan Pickford for England's goalkeeping jersey. So if I'm Dean, and I may be wrong, I'm trying to empathise with Dean. If I'm Dean Henderson, I'm looking at Aaron Ramsdale thinking, well, if he can get that close to the England jersey, why can't I? And I think from Dean's point of view, he now gets a full season. We get him, and I think it's a win-win for everybody, really. On the subject of Brees, I find it really, really sad. I absolutely believe that sentiment has to go out of it, and a lot of my sort of Forest mates have said about there should be no sentiment. Hence, the 5 loanees are not coming back. The only thing I would say about Brees is that he's a great character. He'll always be loved at the City Ground. And to my way of thinking, I now refer to the Hourihan stop, the second penalty of the shootout. In my view, is the greatest penalty save I've ever seen. When a bloke has the stones to just stand there and let a bloke blast it at his hand and not only stop it, but push it onto the bar and out. If Brees Salmon never does anything again in his life, that is a truly great moment. So that's where my sadness about Brees comes. But Dean Henderson, I'm happy to take Maisie's view that if Dean Henderson's distribution is as good as she says, and I believe her, then the issue that we had that we would miss with Brees' distribution, if Dean can do that, then we're plugging the gap. And I couldn't be more happy with the signing, really.
Mm-hmm.
I saw loads of questions and about to Maisie regarding James Garner. We'll tell her later, because this is about Dean Henderson. So people, I do apologize. I'm not going to say. I saw loads of questions about James Garner. We'll get him later on. So I'm just going to go through the comments as well before and I'll do the next couple. Another one. Good evening, Mr. Dore, Dave, and of course, good evening, Maisie. Good evening to awesome live chat. Thank you very much for watching this Devil Rising in. People, if you are new to my channel, please do hit the like button. I'm on 50 likes. Get me to 100 likes, please, if you can. Hit the like button, please. And as well, subscribe to Daisy as well. Her link is in the description as well. She's got a YouTube channel, so people can subscribe to her as well. Right, next question, Maisie. Like I said, there's always going to be strengths and weaknesses. And what strengths has Dean Henderson got that Forest can achieve?
I think there's several things about Dean Henderson what I really like. There was one thing about Dean Henderson what I liked from a couple of seasons ago. I think he likes to get on top of the challenge. So you've seen it, like he was actually trying to compete with De Gea for that #1 spot as the goalkeeper because De Gea wasn't on good form. And even as a Manchester United fan, I said he needs to be dropped. It should be Dean Henderson who should be playing. And the fact that he was able to challenge a goalkeeper of ours, our longest player at the club, who's won the Premier League, to say, well, I'm playing here. He's managed to play about, I'd say, 10 Premier League games in that season. He even played some Europa League games. I think it shows his desire on the pitch. Another thing that I do like is his communication, which I think is key. I think especially when Forest are in the Premier League, you need to have them concentration levels up at a high because there's some brilliant wingers, some brilliant strikers there into the Premier League. And what I do like about Dean Henderson is that his communication levels are so good with the back line. He will easily say, if, for example, when he is centre-backs are out of place, you come here, or when there's a corner, you here, you here, you here. That is the kind of player what Dean Henderson is because he wants to try and get the best out of the team. I think when I do look at the kind of weaknesses that he does have, I think that
was my next question. What weaknesses he got?
I think how the weaknesses more than anything is compared to De Gea. I think his stretching isn't as long as De Gea's, and I think that's why probably De Gea you could see him as one of the best shot stoppers in the world. But apart from that, his reach, I can't really name too many negative things about Dean Henderson. I know there's been a lot of reports about Dean Henderson, but about Manchester United, you don't know how true they are. But as a player on the pitch, I think he's quite professional. Even though I know some people wasn't happy when he wore a hat on the pitch, that did annoy some people. But
wearing a hat,
he wore a hat on the pitch.
Yeah, because the blue sun's in his eyes. What do you expect to do, people these days, eh?
But apart from that, I think he's an overall brilliant player. I quite like him anyway. I think the reason why Manchester United didn't do that option to buy, I think it's because of you look at the best goalkeepers in the league at the moment. They've got everything, absolutely everything. And Dean Henderson's still yet to hit his prime. De Gea's past his prime. His distribution is probably one of the worst in the league. And Dean
Henderson?
No, for De Gea, his distribution is one of the worst in the league. But I think Dean Henderson's terrific with his distribution. So this is especially what Ten Hag looks for in a goalkeeper is distribution. So I think he's kind of leaving that Dean Henderson door open for if, for example, next summer comes and he decides, I can't really find another goalkeeper, let's bring Dean Henderson back. Just someone to fall back on at the end.
Right, I'm just going to look for the comments, and like I said, there's quite a lot. I want to go through. This is from Glenn. How are you doing, Glenn? Great guy. Glad to have such experience Premier League between the stakes. Sad to hear about Bruce Samba has got a future for us. What's the fee? Do you know? I think it's 5 million, Glenn.
Yeah, I think is it Lens or Lens?
Yeah, Lens.
I'm going to say Lens because that's the French pronunciation, but it's very close to being done. I think, Ben.
Yeah, so I think like everyone's disappointed, like Samba, like I said, but we've got a better goalkeeper and winning the Premier League, so we can't be like getting upset about it. So it is what it is. And Samba, like that, I can't praise Samba high enough. I can't praise him. He's done fantastic for us, and if it wasn't for him, we won't be talking about the Premier League. Well, I've got a new super chat, and Anthony makes me laugh. Forrest Anthony makes me laugh. We are Premier League, baby. Sorry, Ben. I just can't help it. I know you can't help it, Anthony. You can't help it. I can't help it. So thank you for the £5, Boris Dan. I'm much appreciated for that. I'm just gonna go for another comment as well. Sorry, I'm just gonna. Where is it? Yeah, so I think Maisie's already answered that. Like I said, substitution. I said you mentioned that he's good. That's how we play. So he's fantastic doing that for his thing, Maisie.
And he's good with his feet as well. There's been a fair few times when he has played where he has made his saves on his feet. And I think distribution and working with your feet, I think as a goalkeeper now, that's what really is required in the Premier League. It's not always about shot stopping these days. Like you see De Gea now, he kicks it out of the pitch when, for example, he gets the ball. Dean Henderson's completely different. He's got a good eye for players, so he's able to cross it to the right person.
Okay. Right. I'm looking for another one. This is from Kane Murray. How you doing, Kane? Dean is class signing first. Wish he had an option to buy, but haven't seen him with Sheffield United. I'd take what we can have. De Gea has 3-4 years left in top, so I can imagine Dean just been in time. Maisie, I'm going to get to David in a minute. Do you think he's good enough for Man U? Because we know De Gea, fantastic keeper, and De Gea got one more year left in his contract.
Yes, that's correct. He's got one. He's expires next year.
So, right, on this question, and people in the comments as well, if you're a Man U fan, Boys fan, put in the comments below. Maisie, do you think he's good enough for Man U? Because I'm going to talk about, I've had this debate. I was on your channel, and we spoke about James Garner. Do you think Dean Henderson's good enough for that Man U squad? Because we know you got to think how as a Man U manager. Do you think he's good enough to get Man U in the top 4 next season?
Personally, yes, I think he is good enough for Manchester United. He has shown at levels what he can bring onto the pitch. For me as well, I think that he has that passion in him, what I do really like. I think his qualities are there for Manchester United, for a goalkeeper we've not had in such a long time. For me, I do think that Dean Henderson, I think that he should have been awarded more game time than what he actually has been given. But knowing you've got other people on form, it's just extremely difficult. But I think when it does come to the long-term solution, possibly yes, I think he could be the number 1 for Manchester United.
Right, I've got another question for you, and it's a weird one because I'm asking you, Maisie, again. Like, we're getting Henderson. You've got De Gea. What other keeper? I know you got. Is it Tom Heaton?
Tom Heaton, yeah.
Yeah, but is he good enough to be a backup for Man U? It's a strange one. What's your opinion on that?
Tom Heaton, he actually used to be a Manchester United player under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Yeah. He's come back. I think that he's too good to be a third keeper goalkeeper. But I think there are at times with Tom Heaton, what I have seen, he is a little bit slow in some areas. I know Manchester United, there was actually rumoured links a couple of days ago that we was linked to Sergio Romero again, who we used to have. And for me, this is not me being biased, but I actually think he's been one of the best backup goalkeepers I've ever witnessed, with how he's able to step up to the plate, and him single-handedly won us the Europa League. And I think he should have been awarded a lot more for his game time also. So I think personally, I would personally look at backup goalkeeper, and if Sergio Romero wants to come back, I'll be over the moon. But Tom Heaton is okay, but I think he does need to work on a few areas. His pace, I think he needs to work on. I think his distribution's okay, but I think even his concentration levels, because this season he's only played half a game, which was actually that Champions League game against Young Boys, and he didn't really have too much to do.
Okay. Well, people, if you're new to the channel, there's 172 people in. Thank you everyone for taking time and watching the channel. Like I said, if you're new, please do hit the like button. I'm on 67 likes. Get me to 100 likes, people, if you can. Subscribe for new people. Please do. I'm trying to get to 10K before the new year. If no one knows I am Mr. Door. If no one knows who this guy is, it's Dave. He goes to every Forest game like me. So people in the comments, show some dates of love. If no one knows who this is Maisie. She's got a channel called Devils United. Please do hit the subscribe button for as well. A link is in the description. And thank you, Kieran, as well. Kieran, you've been a member for 7 months. So people, if you want to be a member as well, the link, the key, I think it's the dollar sign. Is all it is. It's £2.99 a month. And as well, people, I'm doing a show tomorrow as well for people who's members. You know who you are. I'll be doing it about 7 or 8 o'clock. So people in the comments, what do you think? Do you think I should do it 7 or 8 o'clock? Just general Forest stuff. But like I said, it's people who are members as well. So I will message you in the morning and sort out the plan. Right. People are asking this question, me, and I'm going to tell you now. Thank you. This is for Kieran. Thank you for £1.79, and I'm gonna ask Dave as well. And let me ask you know what? Let me ask Dave first, then I'll get Macy's opinion about it. Thoughts on Gardner's future, Macy. But let me ask Dave. Everyone's talking about we can't get Gardner now because we've got Henderson on loan. People in the comments as well, get involved. Would you bid for Gardner or just forget about him, or we can get a better player? People in the comments, get involved. What would you think about Gardner? Dave, talk to me. Would you want?
I might be repeating what our good friend Des, I think it was, might have said a couple of weeks back or a week back. I'd put a cheeky bid in for Jimmy Garner. I think if you said to Jimmy Garner, I mean, the issue for Jimmy Garner is that there's a new boss in town, and Eric Ten Hag is gonna, as I said to you, he's gonna put his own personal stamp on Old Trafford and the squad. I mean, interestingly tonight, and without wanting to get into Manchester United's internal workings, Cristiano Ronaldo is reported to want to be away. So I don't know if that's Eric Ten Hag's doing or Cristiano Ronaldo thinking, do I jump now before Eric pushes me or whatever? Jimmy Garner, I would not imagine Jimmy Garner is going to get any game time at Manchester United in the first team, because my guess is that the Manchester United fan base is a global fan base, a huge fan base. I think they're going to want marquee signings. They're going to want signings that are statements of intent. I mean, Forest's statements of intent are, we want to stay up, we want to consolidate, we want to be an established Premier League team. Now, Manchester United, with all due respect to Forest, their environment is a little different. They want statement signings to advertise intention to get back in that top 6. You know, it's interesting. We've talked about seriously poor Forest seasons for the last 20 odd years, where we've been down the bottom end of the Championship and uprooting no weeds, let alone trees. And Manchester United finished, I think, 6th in the Premier League, and it was seen as a disaster. So it tells you the contrasting environments that these clubs are in. So I think Jimmy Garner, I think he's an excellent player. We all love him at Forest. He's like the skinny little urchin from Manchester that we've all adopted. And he loves being adopted by us. I remember when he turned up and I kind of thought, how much does he weigh? He looked anorexic, but he's a superb player. He's got great dead ball skills. He can put a tackle in. There was a tackle at the end of the playoff final, I think, on Jordan Rhodes, where Jimmy took the lot and he fairly. So he's not frightened. We all love him. Now, but the thing is, what do Manchester United want to do with him? Now, if we're having Dean on loan and we're only allowed 2 loans in the Premier League, I believe that to be the case.
We only can have 1 person per team.
Yes, that's right, Ben. So it's 2, but not 2 from Manchester United or 2 from City or whoever else. You know. So
I think what it is, if we did get James Garner, it's got to be up. We have to buy him. So
yes,
that's how it technically is. We'll say if we did want to buy him, get him on loan, we have to buy him. So people need to understand that.
Do you know what, Ben? I'd stick a bid in for him. I'd buy him. You know, I mean, the only trouble is a lot of these clubs now. I mean, we saw it. We all to quote a different player, we all would have loved to see Keenan Davies come back, but Villa slapped a price tag on him that was going to make it prohibitive. So it's a matter of what Manchester United have. It's Manchester United's valuation of James Garner. If Forest are kind of looking over the garden wall at Manchester United, saying, I wonder how much they're going to charge us for Jimmy Garner, and the Forest analysis team and Steve and Dane and Nick Randall and whoever else, Militiadis, all think, well, actually, that's a decent price for Jimmy Garner. I think we should go for it. Is he good enough for the Premier League? That's the question that hangs over him. It's the question Manchester United are going to ask. But like I say, I think, Frankie de Jong is going to come in, and I think there'll be other, he's the first one. He's the one I can think of off the top of my head. I think there'll be others come into Manchester United. There'll be some very big names coming in there, and Jimmy is going to find himself. At best, he's going to be a squad player and a bench for Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games, things like that. Now at Nottingham Forest, Jimmy Garner has actually created his own sort of folklore to an extent. He was probably our best player in an incredibly poor season, the year of empty stadiums and COVID, where he came in and he'd not done so great at Watford. He came to us and he kind of stood out. And then after a slow start this last season, he became integral to the team. And I actually thought at Wembley, I know Big Scott got the man of the match award and deservedly, but I don't think Jimmy was far away from being the man of the match at Wembley in a not very good game. So I would, if Forest have got the funds and they've got a little bit of money knocking about somewhere, just say to Manchester United, for this amount, can we take him off you? Because I tell you what, everybody in Nottingham, everybody goes to City Ground, would love to have him about again. Like I say, is he Premier League ready? If he's considered not to be, what a cracking lad to have in your squad. He's up and coming. He's young. He knows everybody. You say to Jimmy Garner, go back and play football at Nottingham Forest. He's got loads of his mates down here. He fits in. I thought just generally on the loan players last year, what I loved, I looked at the loan players at Wembley after we'd won, and I looked at the loan players, and I looked at the lads who'd not been in the squad very much. Your Mbissos, your Larriers, and all these kind of people, Cafu, they were all as into the celebration as the kind of the regulars. Yeah, and that showed you the team spirit. And I think Jimmy Garner, if he's going to find opportunities limited at Old Trafford, and Forest went to buy him, I'm a little bit sceptical that that's going to happen. I'm leaning more towards the fact that Jimmy won't come back than Jimmy will come back. But if Forest have got the team look and think, well, we've got a bit of money lying around over here, let's go and I think Des regarded. I'm quoting Des. I might be wrong, but a cheeky bid. I would love him back. I think he's a smashing player. And actually, for those who don't think he's Premier League ready, he played against Arsenal. He played against Leicester City. 2 games that we won. Leicester City with the FA Cup holders, a team playing in Europe, and he bossed their midfield. And against Liverpool, admittedly not it was a sort of a half full strength Liverpool, but Jimmy Garner produced possibly the pass of the game. He put through for Yatesy towards the end. Yatesy, there was a sort of a half penalty shot, but Jimmy Garner threaded the ball through the middle of Liverpool's defence. Virgil van Dijk et al. And Jimmy Garner showed that he's got the capability. It's about consistency now. So I'd love to have him back, but we'll see what goes on. It's up to United on that one. He's there. It's a bit like Spence. He was Middlesbrough's player. It's not our place to say Jimmy is United's player. So it's for them to decide.
I've never seen Dave talk so much in my life. Well, asking was James Conner. This was like a teleconference. Well, this is why I love Dave. He like Des. He can just talk about football. This is why I love it. To people, Dave, I love you.
I love Forest.
This is why I love Dave. This is why I love Dave. This is why I've got him on the channel. He just talks about football. And this is what I love about Dave. He just talks about it. All right. Before I get to Maisie, I've got 2 super chats, and there's one from I think Daisy might know him. This is Devil Rising. What's your realistic goals for Nottingham Forest next season? I'll ask Dave. Well, no, Dave, make it quick. What's your realistic goal for Forest next season?
Staying up and being relatively comfortable in staying up, Ben.
So Dave says realistic staying up. I think we'll stay up. I think we'll stay up. But
Hope so.
But yeah,
I think so, actually.
so, think you stay up, Dave?
Yeah. We've got the best young manager in the country, and he will make it happen.
So Dave says it all. Dave says we'll stay up. I'll be happy with that. Well, yeah.
I might regret that.
Next one. I'll shout out to, and this is one. I shout out to Claire. I saw Claire at the event this morning. So yeah, shout out to Claire. Fantastic woman. She was on my channel. If people don't remember, Claire was on my channel because she was a member. So people show some love to Claire. Claire said, "Thank you for the £4.49, Claire. I'll put a cheeky bid in for the God. No, I don't think he's ready for Manchester United yet." And I've said it, and I said it on Mason's channel as well. I did a preview about Garner. I just don't think he's ready for the Man U team. I think he needs another loan spell. I don't think he'll come to Forest now. I think that's done and dusted, but he needs a good, strong loan spell now. I think you got teams like, I think he's been mentioned, like teams like Leeds, Brighton, even Crystal Palace, or somewhere in the low clubs that will suit Garner. But we don't know. I think I love him at Forest. Like I said, he did well for us, and why not? But we can't. So yeah, I think it's a weird one. People, there's 184 people in. If you can, please do hit the like button. If you can, please subscribe if you're new, and like a comment below. If you want to ask Maisie any questions about Dean Henderson, please do. Maisie, I said, we said the strength for Dean Henderson. What was his character like? Was he like, I know? Did he moan about being number 2, or did he want to start? What was it that like? So tell us what was it like?
I think at the beginning when he came back from Sheffield United, I think he was promised that little bit of game time off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, knowing that there was slip ups there from De Gea for the past couple of seasons. He wasn't at his best, and then I think it took to the second half of the season for Ole to realise, right, he does need to play. He's been sat on the bench. He's been playing these Europa League games. Give him some Premier League games. And when we did see it, I think he was quite mixed with the fan base. Some people really loved him. Some people just thought, no, he really hated him. I think there was like it's a bit of a divide with our fan base. Like, you're either De Gea fans or you're Dean Henderson fans. There's no, I like both. Even I thought Dean Henderson needs to gain time. He's done so well at Sheffield United. He needs to show that he can do it at Manchester United now. And there's no way he could prove that unless, of course, he plays. And he had a bad game for Sheffield United against Sheffield United. That's when we drew 3-3. And he had a poor game against Liverpool where we got beat 4-1 or 4-2. I can't remember which one.
4-1. It was 4-1.
Yeah. I remember that game. But I look at the same time, we had 4 games in the matter of weeks. We had loads of postponed games. So I can't even overly blame him for everything, to be fairly honest. Full strength Liverpool team. A very tired, fatigued Manchester United team as well. So I think that it was very difficult for the team. But I did like how he tried to show that I want to be number 1 goalkeeper. And I think it was just a shame about De Gea coming into form the following season. There was reports suggesting that Dean Henderson wasn't happy. He wanted to be number 1 goalkeeper, which is, of course, is understandable. He's hitting his prime eventually. He wants to be in that England shirt. He wants to be in the squad. He wants to compete with the likes of Jordan Pickford, because personally for me, I actually think he was probably the second best goalkeeper for England after Jordan Pickford. I'm not one to say Jordan Pickford should get dropped because I think he's terrific as an England person.
No, mate, he's rubbish. I'm sorry, but he's rubbish.
For Everton, he's crap, but for England, I can't drop him.
No, sorry, listen to me. Pickford is rubbish. I'm sorry, but I've got to say
it under an Everton shirt, but as an England shirt, I can't.
Nah, sorry, people in the comments, what do you think? What do you think? People in the comments, get involved. Who's better? Pickford, Ramsdale, Henderson?
Say it in an England shirt. In an England shirt.
Henderson.
No, but if you look at the players we've got now in the England shirts, like Henderson's not there. Ramsdale was absolutely poor. Pope doesn't even start. And
it's Henderson. Dave, it's Henderson, isn't it, Dave? Dave, it's Henderson, isn't it, Dave? Henderson.
I tell you what about
Dave, Henderson.
Come on, Dave.
Henderson, Dave.
Henderson,
Dave.
Henderson, he's Forest now. He's one of ours. He's now part of my family. I'm not going to say anything against part of my family. My family is like thousands. My Forest brethren and sisterin. And Dean Henderson is a tricky now, so I'm not going to cast aspersions. You know.
Banter side, like Pickford. He frustrates me for England. He frustrates me so much for England. But if I said it, I'll always destroy Arsenal fans. But I like Ramsdale. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Ben, what I was going to say about, if you think about Ramsdale and Dean Henderson, 3 seasons ago or 2 seasons ago, at the end of 2 seasons ago, it would have been Dean Henderson here and Aaron Ramsdale there. You know, one had kept Sheffield United up and one didn't. And it's a strange kind of turn of events that Dean's career seems to have kind of, you know, gone into the shadows a little bit. And Aaron Ramsdale has kind of come into the more into the public eye, you know. I mean, I saw Dean Henderson's first interview today, and he struck me as a really good, solid citizen. There's some great photos of him with Steve Cooper meeting him at the.
I seen it. Yeah.
And Coops is being proper Coops, where he's come here, mate. You're part of the family and all that. And Dean Henderson looks really happy. And then I think George Harvey interviewed Dean Henderson, and he was very polite. He was very considered, but you could, it maybe just me, but I could sense behind that Dean Henderson is right ready to have a crack at the Premier League and get going again. And it's interesting you talk about communication, Maisie. I think that's a great point you make, because we've got in our back four, we've got Joe Worrell, not shy of a word. Scott McKenna, not shy of a word here and there.
Yeah.
Steve Cook, the coach on the field. We've got 3 really excellent communicators who you know, we might be adding to those.
It'll suit Henderson, wouldn't it, as well, Dave? Because like I said, we know. Like I said, I've always mentioned we need a better goalkeeper. Henderson, as Mason said, he's got good with his foot technique and as well. So when you got players like Joe Worrell, McKenna, even Cook, and I know that we might be signing another defender, but that'll be in a different show. It's going to suit him well, isn't it, Dave?
Absolutely. I mean, I think those 3. I said even before we got towards being a playoff contender, or rather, sorry, no, at the point where we became a credible playoff contender, and I just looked at the Worrell, Cook, McKenna trio, and every now and then in football, with you, and I've run teams myself, you get a sense of something being just right. The chemistry's perfect. It's got this indefinable quality. And Worrell, Cook, and McKenna were almost immediately sort of made for each other, so that the names then tripped off the tongue. Now, I think that made Brice Samba a better goalkeeper. It increased his confidence. It certainly helped Ethan Horvath when he had to come in. And I just think it made, you know, those 3. I actually think those 3 are the platform upon which Forest got to the Premier League. I mean, back in the days of Brian Clough, which you two are probably too young to remember, but I'm not.
You cheeky son. I was there at the end, Dave. You cheeky son.
I'm 900 years old, though.
I know you're trying to say that I look really young.
Dave, I just didn't want to tell everyone your age on here, but yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, what I was going to say, Ben, is that back in the day, Cloughie said all good sides are built on clean sheets, and he regarded the likes of Shilton, Burns, Lloyd, Needham as the people that won the league in those days. Now I look at Forest nowadays, and there's a similar sort of core of the team, and I think that back 3 is absolutely superb. And Dean Henderson will be looking at having those 3 in front of him. And I tell you what, Dean Henderson, I bet he can't wait to get. He said he couldn't wait to start work. It's a kind of a cliche that they always throw out when they go to. No, I can't wait to get going. You know, but you can see with Dean Henderson, he's looking at having Cookie, Joe, and Granit Xhaka in front of him, and I think it will do him a world of good. And I think that back line is going to be the reason. If we can add good right wing backs or right backs, left wing backs, that will be what keeps us in the Premier League. I think. I think they're the bedrock of our club at the moment. Those guys,
100%. Right, I've got quite a lot of super chats here. I'll start with you, John. Thank you, John, for the £5. I much appreciate it. I think this is from me and Dave. Hi, guys. Any idea who our sports editor and who would you like it to be? You know what? I've been hearing Forest got a few, and I saw on social media. I don't know mention who said it. Forest are asking for more money, but it's just hearsay. People in the comments, who would you want as a sponsor? I know there's been things like Eon as well. Dave, make it quick. Who do you want as a sponsor? I don't know. Who would you want?
Ben, Boxed, BOXT, were looking for us last year. Why not keep them? Yeah, Ben, without being overly moral, I don't want a betting company again because we were slightly embarrassed with the last one. And, Boxed were fine. I have no problem with them. Really, I'm not, as long as we've got a,
Exactly. We've got a sponsor. We're in the Premier League. So if Forest want more money for sponsor, why not? So I get it. I fully get it.
Ben, the essence of the Premier League, and Maisie will back me up on this because she's a Premier League supporter of much longer standing than I am. The crucial thing is that it's the most expensive game in football, the playoff final, because of the TV money that you bring in. And that TV exposure, people will be looking at Nottingham Forest with a big fan base, a big stadium, and they're going to be on the telly quite a bit because of the sort of, the tradition and the heritage of Nottingham Forest. Yeah. If you're a company that wants to get its name bunged out there in the world, Forest shirts are going to be like, I would imagine there'll be companies fighting over themselves to get that shirt,
100%. So people in the comments, what do you think? What do you think sponsor we should have? Why can't we just keep it like the bats? I love the bats. So that's something.
Getting Typhoon.
Yeah. So that for me personally, that will be. I'll love the bats, but I don't know. People in the comments. I'm just looking for more as well. So wait. I think there's no super chat. This is from Devils. Question for the panel: who signs for Arsenal next? I mean, reject Arsenal. Listen, I don't care about Arsenal. I don't really care about Arsenal. I hope they fail. I want them. I hope Arsenal fail. Sorry, but that's my. Yeah, who cares? We beat them in FA Cup. We'll beat them again. We always beat them. So yeah, that's me.
Charlie Nicholas.
Yeah,
Charlie George.
That's my people. I don't care about Arsenal. But thank you for £5. Devil Rising, yeah, but I just generally don't give a flying hell about Arsenal. But yeah, thank you for the £5. Yeah, I'm looking at sponsorship. The shipping, that's a good one.
Why not? I remember Shipstones. Yeah. Rockabilly's got a point there.
Spotify will be big for in Barcelona, sponsored by Spotify. Yeah, so that would be good. This is from
who's sponsored by Spotify.
This is from new sponsor. Direct, you give it extra protection. Unbelievable.
Stretching it a bit, Ben.
This is from Kieran. Need my popcorn wild since Dave. It reminds me of Do Daily. Yes, I told you, Dave.
Ben, he's Do Daily. I'm Do Lally.
He's Do Lally. Yeah, he is Do Lally. He's a lovely person, people. So people, like I said, get in the comments, show some Dave some love, man. I love him being on my channel because he is signing a new contract for me next season because I've had enough of that little Max. But,
so lovely.
Shout out to Max. This is James. So shout out to Jamie. He's a member as well. Sorry, I'm late. Good evening, Door and guests. What a great few days is to be a Forest fan. It is. It's a fantastic day to be a Forest fan. People, I know. Like I said, there's more transfers coming our way. I know there's 2 French players as well, so hopefully that can come off. I'm doing a show tomorrow. If there's no sign, I think there's going to be a sign tomorrow. So There
On a
might be.
Sunday.
Yeah, so potentially there could be a one.
Forest never sleeps.
Forest, yeah, exactly. So there potentially could be 2 shows tomorrow. Like I said, I'm doing a member show tomorrow, so people can. If you are new to the channel, there's 173 people in. Please do hit the like button. I want 89 likes. Get me to 100 likes, people. For me, show me some love. As well, make sure everyone subscribes to Maisie as well. She's got a YouTube channel. Please do hit the subscribe button for her. And Dave, it's just Dave. He's always on my channel. So people show some love to Dave as well. I'm gonna ask you. I think there's a question for Maisie. Like, as you know, Forest are back in the Premier League after 23 years. Are you excited to Forest come to you lot and give you a good hiding?
I'm gonna ignore the fact you said a good hiding because that worries me because we're always crap against teams who are newly promoted. We was crap against Watford last year. We straight wins against Norwich, and that's just shocking. But I actually am really looking forward to seeing Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. They've got massive history in the Premier League, massive history in Europe. As Mr. Dore likes me to call him, Sir Brian Clough.
That's the word, Sir Brian Clough. Yes, see, I'm loving this, Sir
I've
Brian
learned
Clough.
from you, Mr. Dore. I've done it. I've learned from you. He's one of the many people who made that history at the club. I think the manager who you do have now has got some real potential to keep Nottingham in the Premier League. I think you're doing some brilliant business, what I've seen so far as well. And this is the thing, what I did say, I'm sure we spoke before the playoffs, and I said the difference between Nottingham and Huddersfield is that Nottingham will invest into their team to stay up in the Premier League, which Nottingham Forest, Huddersfield wouldn't have done. And this is what I like to see, a new team coming in. I know you've not been here since 1999, so a fresh change of energy into the Premier League, seeing something new. And I think that what you need to do in particular, you need to change the way you play against different teams. And if you are able to do that as well, I think you'll be able to catch some teams in our surprise, to be honest.
Right, nearly the hour's up. We've been here for long. Like I said, it's been a great show today. Like I said, people, if you don't know, he's been had under a rock. Forest for Sandy Henderson from Manchester United for a loan season. It's not, you can't buy him. So, but like I said, it's a positive thing for Forest. Last but not least, like I said, I'm gonna ask you, Dave. Like I said, this Dean Henderson signing, like I said, it's a second signing this summer. Seems like we're getting a few more players, Dave. How excited? Like I said, we're back in the Premier League. I was talking to everyone today about it's still unreal. As you know, me and Dave, we went to Old Trafford to watch Forest on 23s play Man United on 23s, and going back to Man United again and see.
Amazing.
What can I say? It was just, well, what can I say? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, Daisy, to your fans, but I want to go to Old Trafford this time and hear you sing, because I'm not gonna lie. If there's any Man U fans watching this, please turn up, because it was absolutely depressing. So I can't wait till Boxing Day.
You'll hear us this time, I promise.
Yeah, so people, please, but Man U fans, come on, cheer me up, because I'm not going to Old Trafford and be depressed. I know, and like I said, we are going to spank you and all that. So I'm excited. But Dave, how it's 4 weeks ago, Dave, and we're excited, aren't we?
Oh, mate, it's just the thing is we craved it for so long, and speaking from a personal point of view, Ben, I said to somebody when we were bottom at the start of the early part of last season, I'll probably never see Forest in the Premier League again in my life. Now, oh me of little faith. So I think that every Forest supporter should be nicely chilled and relaxed and enjoying the fact that we've had actually 23 years of irritation. And at the end of irritation, when the irritation goes, you should be mellow and zen. I mean, I've seen some anxiety here. Why hasn't the shirt come out yet? Why haven't we signed this player? Why haven't we signed that player? Before I came on and spoke to you two lovely people, I was having a WhatsApp chat with a great mate of mine. I've known him a long time, and he's a Newcastle United supporter. And he said to me, he sent me a thing about Brennan renewing his contract, which we're all of us chuffed a bit with.
I'll say that before. I want to say that before we do finish. Come on, Dave. Carry on.
Yeah. So, and he was saying to me, it's 5 weeks to the day, I think, that Forest go to St James's Park, and the prospect of those travelling trickies adding to an already insane Geordie atmosphere in that ground, it's going to be monumental. And I'll tell you, I think this is, what Fulham and Bournemouth did to get back up, fantastic achievements in their, in their own rights. But I think the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool, Everton, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, Wolves, Villa, they are going to love having the travelling Red Army in their stadium, because Steve Cooper said on the balcony in Slab Square the day after we won at Wembley, he was on about how our away supporters had dominated pretty much every stadium we went to in the Championship. And I think come what may on the field, whatever happens on the field, and it's going to be an incredibly difficult season from a playing point of view. The atmosphere in the grounds that the Forest supporters are going to generate is going to be breathtaking. I mean, the first 3 away trips are St James's Park, which is an iconic venue, Goodison, a similarly iconic venue, and then our 3rd away trip on a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Oh, we'll beat them, Dave. We'll beat them. Don't worry about it.
There. I mean, absolutely. And from a selfish perspective, just to be in those stadiums amongst that red throng is just going to be mind-blowing. And that's what we should all be looking forward to, being part of the most high-profile sporting competition in the world. And, this is where I do get slightly annoyed with people sort of, we wanted it for so long. You wanted it, you've got it, and people are kind of fretting. Not me. I can't wait. And if we're going to take some, we're going to get some defeats, right? A lot more defeats probably than we got last season. But you know what? Being in it is a start, and I believe that Forest, as Maisie says, we will have to change the way we play. But I think our coach is so knowledgeable, so switched on, so modern, so understanding of the world around him that he will make adjustments where we need them. And I think in Cooper we trust. We've got a great manager. He's our biggest asset, without a shadow of a doubt.
100%. Like I said, I'm excited. David excited. 4 weeks away. Is it 4 or 5 weeks, Dave?
4 full weeks, 5 Saturdays, Ben, I think.
Lord dear, I can't wait. People in the comments, how excited are you?
I need to get out more, Maisie.
People in the comments, how excited are you to the Premier League? Like I said, me and Dave, we'll be going to Newcastle away. I'm going to all the games as well. But
yeah, everyone.
I've not announced it yet on my social medias yet, people. But it's great news. It's great news, and people, you will be excited for this. I'm going to Berlin. I am going to Union Berlin to see Nottingham Forest play away. So I'm excited. But people, as you know, it's not free. It's not cheap. It's not cheap as well, people. And I've mentioned in my last podcast. If anyone wants to sponsor my vlog for the German game, please get in contact with me, because, like I said, if you've got a business, work business, whatever it is you want me to promote, please get in contact with me and I will promote. And so it'd be happy. It'd be nice to sponsor my channel as well, people. So please, if you can, email me or WhatsApp me to support your business, because we're in the Premier League. So it'd be nice if anyone can sponsor me. Like I said, I've got loads of sponsors throughout the season as well. I'm on a live stream as well, but I will announce that when they play the first game of the season. As well, we mentioned there's 2 things I saw in the comments as well. First, I'm going to mention Dale Taylor. He played against Man U in the under-23s. He signed a 3-year contract for Nottingham Forest, and he's a great talent as well. So I think he's 17 years old. I think it's 18 years old. Another excitement.
Already Northern Ireland international.
Yeah, great player. But people, as you know, it was announced yesterday. I'm thrilled. Dave's thrilled. Every Forest fan's bloody thrilled. Yesterday, at last, if Mr. David Johnson is watching this, where have you been hiding? Brendan Johnson has signed that new contract for Nottingham Forest. When I heard the news, I was buzzing, excited. People in the comments, how are you feeling about Brendan Johnson has signed a new contract? I know there's lots of chasing him. I think there was a link in the article. I think Man U was chasing him as well, because I think we was linked with Henderson. Manu thought to do a little cheeky inquiry about him, but that wasn't happening. So people in the comments as well, man. How are you feeling about Brennan Johnson? I'm gonna get David's opinion about Brennan. Maisie, do you know anything about Brennan Johnson?
I've watched a couple of games of Nottingham Forest last season. I think he was brilliant. I believe he does play in the striker role, if I'm not mistaken. I think that he's very quick. I think he's one of them kind of players who he's quite good. He's one of them where if he was in the box, more than likely you would know that he will get a goal in. Wales international as well, so he's got that experience right in there, and he's already playing against like brilliant teams and brilliant players internationally against Netherlands, for instance. So I think signing that deal for Nottingham Forest is a great thing for them for stability. I think it's a great thing there for Johnson as well to get that Premier League experience to play with some of the best players in England, and the qualities he has, I think he could be in the next couple of years or so. It wouldn't even surprise me if you would see the likes of Man City or Liverpool or Chelsea going for him, because I think he really does have potential to hit the roof.
So, like I said, Brennan Johnson. I mean, I said when I heard, I think I knew he was going to sign it. Just still want to open my mouth. Dave, you can take as long as you want. How are you feeling about Brennan Johnson signing the contract as well? People in the comments as well. How are you feeling about Brennan Johnson? I'm excited.
Oh mate,
I saw.
Do you know what, Ben? I watch a lot of DoreOnTour. I watch a lot of Gary Baldy Red podcasts. I listen to all the Forest population, if you like, and for me, once we got past Huddersfield at Wembley, we'd had that amazing day, and then the celebrations in the square. The two priorities for me at that point, Ben, were to get Steve signed for us for going forward, and then the second one is Brennan, because Brennan is. I put on Facebook today. Brennan is the one player. And this is no disrespect to any of the Forest lads. I love them all. Amazing. They're fabulous lads. We've got a smashing
squad. He's a academy player. That's the most important thing, isn't
it? What he does, he defies the gravity around my bottom, because he gets my bottom off my seat. Every time Brennan gets the ball, I just anticipate something happening. I mean, he's got great, as Maisie says, and it's lovely that she's taken notice of him. Although don't be going telling Manchester United too much, Maisie. Right?
Agent Mains. You can call that.
But the thing is, he's got great pace. He's got youthful exuberance. He's got a certain swagger that doesn't go into cockiness, which I really like, and which actually is huge credit to the grounding and the upbringing he's had from David and the family, and from the Forest Academy. The beauty of Brennan is he is, like Joe and like Yatesy and whatever. He is probably one of our own. It's like, for me as an older Forest supporter, it's like seeing one of my nephews develop and seeing him grow up. And what I really like about Brennan, not only have you got this technical ability, 19 goals and 10 or 11 assists, but Brennan, it's almost like whenever Brennan is faced with a new challenge, and Steve will be setting him new targets, Steve won't allow Brennan to rest on his laurels, and neither will David, right? Because David will want him to do well. But what I absolutely love about Brennan is when you set him a new bar to aim for. He had it with Lincoln last year. He had it at the start of this year, where our previous regime.
Yeah, don't mention him, Dave. Don't mention him. We don't want to mention
not
him.
mentioning names. No, they didn't.
Sorry, mate. It's been banned.
Brennan's gone from being not considered good enough for the championship to being considered our key asset. I think
Dave, best player one of the best players, one of the best young players in Europe.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And the thing is, Ben, he rose to the occasion in the championship, young player of the year, and scored some great goals. He took a penalty in the shootout and showed no nerves, which shows his great strength of character. He loves Nottingham. He loves the city. He loves the club. He's grown up here, and now he's demonstrated that by committing himself to us. But the point Maisie makes about him being a Wales international. Now, I remember he came on in the game against the Ukraine where Wales had to win to get to Qatar. And his first touch was to hit a shot that hit the post. And it's almost like nothing phases Brennan, you know, and I just love that. I don't know if it's because he's young. I don't know if it's because his dad was an excellent professional in his own right. And
listen to me, Dave. Listen to me. David's watching this. Don't give David no praise. He's not taking no credit. Slow, David. You're not taking Brennan's credit. No chance. No chance.
I just think he's our X factor player. He's the guy who opens things up, you know, whether it's out wide or up the middle, and he's just got that. He's just got that sort of. Again, I hate the program, but I'm going to use the phrase X factor about Brennan, and I'm so glad he's signed. Absolutely thrilled to pieces.
No, you lied, Dave. Dave watches X Factor all the time, so stop lying, Dave. But yeah, right. People, like I said, people as you know, Brendan Johnson signed a 4-year contract. Signed in Henderson, whatever we covered. Dale Taylor signed a contract as well.
And
yeah, that's my name.
Wayne Hennessy is a backup, I think.
Right as well.
Yeah,
forgot about that. I think should I talk about today or tomorrow show? I'm doing another tomorrow show, but we'll make it short and sweet. Dean Henderson has been not Dean Henderson. What's his name?
Wayne Hennessy.
Wayne Hennessy.
Wales international as backup.
Right. I think we'll talk. I've got another show tomorrow. We'll talk about it, but we'll make it short and sweet. Dave, what's your situation with him? Like I said, I personally think, right, before I'll say my little talk, then we'll get Dave's look chat. I think it'd be a great backup because we know that when Dean Henderson plays, Man U, we can't play against him. When we got a strong keeper that's been in the Premier League and he knows everything, it'd be a good backup. But people in the comments, what do you think? Do you think Henderson will be a good backup keeper? What do you think, Dave? Make it quick, short and sweet.
Well, he's got he's actually got more Premier League experience than Dean has, and he's a Welsh international. And I think it's when I saw his name crop up, I think either yesterday or today for the first time, I was like, yeah, I'll have some of that. Absolutely, I'd have him in. You know, he's slightly older than Henderson, and you know, and so he'll be able to sort of talk to Dean. They'll form a little goalkeeping team, and you know, Danny Alcock as the goalkeeping coach, he'll be helping them as well. You know, he's a key man, Danny Alcock, because you know, names on water bottles and things. I mean, that's thinking outside the box.
Yeah, as we know, Sam did that water bottle trick. That's got us to the playoff final. Right, it's been a fantastic show. Thank you very much that has watched my show. I want to say thank you for Maisie that took her time to come on the channel. And if no one knows who Maisie is, she's got a My New channel. YouTube channel as well. Her link is in the description. Please, everyone, if after the channel, go in the description and make sure you go and subscribe to a channel. If you are new to my channel, people, please do hit the like button, please. It helps me a lot. My target for the new season, I'm trying to get to 10K. That's my target, people. So all you gotta do is hit the subscribe button, please. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Like I said, people, I'll be doing another show. I think I'll do it at 8 o'clock this time. So people, I will be doing an 8 o'clock show, but with the members as well. I think people, if you haven't been on my show, and you are a member, can you please message me on either email me, Twitter, Instagram, members that hasn't been on my show. I'm doing a members channel as well. I've got at least 2 people who are members that are coming on my show tomorrow. So people as well, please message me if you have. But yeah, before I go, I know that, like I said, Maisie got some love. Great show, everyone. All the best for the season, Maisie. This is from
Boxing Day.
Yeah, well, people, I will be having Maisie back on the show on but no, it's gonna be Christmas Day, Maisie. You gotta be free for Christmas Day, Maisie. So make sure you're free Christmas Day.
I'll be stuffed, I'll be there bloated like that.
Listen to me, I don't care.
I'll be belly out.
No, listen to me. Don't have your belly out. Don't have your belly out.
Not being my belly, Maisie.
No, don't.
Get my belly out, though.
No.
I'll take you up on that, Mr. Door, about getting my belly out.
No, don't get your belly out. No, don't get it out. Don't get it out. No.
Okay,
listen, good luck to the season, Maisie, and great to see you on here as well. Did have enough for the extension, but turn it down. It seems like in this time for him. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I said, I know there's 2 French players that are looking to sign for Nottingham Forest, but like I said, people, we'll talk about that tomorrow's show. But yeah, people, I'm gonna get going. Thank you, everyone. Like I said, for everyone watching the show. Like I said, people, if you're new to the channel, please do hit the like button if you can, people. Subscribe if you're new, and make sure everyone subscribes to me. Subscribe to Maisie. And like I said, thank you, Dave, forever for being. I told Dave lastminute.com because Mr. Do Daily, he's gone out. He's with some famous people.
He's living a life that I'm not.
He's living a life, people. So yeah, shout out to Dave. Make sure everyone subscribe to Do Daily as well. But yeah, everyone, thank you very much. I hope everyone has a great day. I have. I'm so happy no one's noticed my voice is just gone because I've been on a drink. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock for a new show. Peace and love. Up the Reds.